Before we get into the video, let me introduce the sponsor of today's video, freecash.com. On this website, anybody in the world, including you, and yeah, I'm talking to you sitting right there in your couch, huh? You watching this video can begin earning cash today by completing simple tasks such as testing out games or signing up to websites. You can see here on the front page, users withdrew $54,771 yesterday, and the average person is making their first withdrawal in about 17 minutes, and the average earnings per user yesterday was $17.47. As you can see, there are tons of offers to choose from. Here you can earn $17.25 just for signing up to Coinbase.com and depositing $5. Or here you can earn $26.32 just by playing this game for free and reaching level 22 within 14 days. Once you've earned your coins, you can come here to the withdraw page and withdraw your money direct to PayPal, Bitcoin, or even Steam Balance to buy Rust skins. To get started, you can even spin a wheel and win up to $250 for free. All you have to do is to enter the code YIP over here. Okay, today we're back on YouTube with another video, actually a build video. This is my third one on the channel, and this base build has been so highly requested. It is a 2x1 core, even though you're not gonna have main loot here. This is where TC is, and here is where the main loot is going to be. Sort of like a mini open core. But yeah, I'm not gonna talk anymore, and we're just gonna get right into it. We got two different type of external TCs. We got this one that has a TC behind the door. We got bed locker, really nice for retakes, but as a solo I don't really feel like I need that many, and that is the sole reason why the other external is looking like this. Just a simple disconnectable TC. And all you have to do to disconnect it is place a roof piece like that. Remove it and connect it. I'm a big fan of these external TCs. They're really simple, and it gives you a nice opportunity to flank people who are raiding your base. And actually, I'm not quite sure how good these gatehouses are. I've been wanting to try them out a lot, but I haven't been able to play so much because of work and so on. But you've probably seen these gatehouses before. You push your head against the top of the roof and then you shoot people inside the compound. Really nice gatehouse and all, but this gives so much invalids because of the combination of you pushing your head towards the roof and you standing on a roof piece. So my idea is that you build a little bit higher, gives you better momentum, better peaks, and hopefully not as many invalids. And if you do feel like it, you can obviously abuse the... where is it? There we go. The heavy helmet and just peek like this. Should be pretty helpful. Should be able to kill a lot of raiders. Let's get into the rest of the base. When we're coming in, we got these turret pods in the compound, and we also have a turret here in a turret pod. We do have an entrance here and an entrance on this side. That takes us into the base and up to the shooting floor. Yeah, this goes into the inner peaks, and that one up to the shooting floor. But we get into that later. And now we're just gonna take the bottom of the base, which is, as I said, a 2x1, really easy starter base. Doesn't have an airlock, which is the only downside, but it's okay. Inside the 2x1, I like to have a flank kit, can store some loot, and also have the main TC there. You may be thinking that it's not so many rockets into the main TC, and yeah, it's right, it's not that many. I think it's like 15 or something, depending on how many armored doors you have and so on, but that's why you have 4 different TCs outside the compound. But yeah, here we got the inner peaks, really nice inner peaks. It is supposed to be a ladder hatch here, as you can see on this side, but the server didn't allow me to place one, but just imagine there being a ladder hatch there. But yeah, we got some really nice inner peaks, and what I like most about these is that you can peek here to retake control of your shooting floor, but primarily if you use it from the other side like this. Insane peaks to take control over your inner peaks if you lost them or just take out raiders. And you can also shoot from the shooting floor. Yeah, they're really nice, and they've helped me a lot during raids on different type of bases and this base. And yeah, you can also close the garage door if you feel like sectioning off the peaks. But yeah, now we're in the shooting floor. We got the wide gaps, a really nice wide gaps. Got some nice peaks, and yeah, pretty basic shooting floor. Some solid wide gaps, and I guess that's about it. Imagine there being a ladder edge here. You come into the core where you have a lot of garage doors, a lot of storage, and 2 bedrooms, I guess you can say. They're not separate bedrooms, but they are respawn points with locker kits. And behind the workbench and the locker you have 2 batteries. If you go out in the shooting floor and then go up on one of these, this is the way up to the roof, and also the roof pickups, as you can see here. And yeah, we got 4 of these, one there, and one there. If you jump on these, we come up to sort of a mini bedroom. This bedroom is not, I'm not sure how I'm going to explain it. It's not a crucial bedroom, I guess you can say, because you can't shoot out this bed from the outside, as you can see here. It is possible, but most likely not gonna happen. But it's like an extra bed for respawn points during raids, and you have a secure locker here. And just in case the bed gets destroyed, you still have a bag here. And if that bed gets destroyed, you have this bed, that bed, and of course on the other side, the exact same setup. On the roof, yeah, we got some roof pieces, nothing special. We got some turret pods, and also have this small box above the bedroom behind the turret. And the main reason why I have that is so that you can get some free ceiling mats. Just look up, get yourself some ceiling mats, go down, seal, and yeah, secure the raid. Now that the base tour is done, I guess we can start talking base cost and so on. And here's the base cost for this base design. You can see all the deployables and so on. This is how much it's cost with the gatehouses and the entire base itself. If you don't want to farm as much but still want to build this base, you can build something like this. As you can see, it's 1x1 gatehouses, really bad external TCs, but it gets the job done and it's still the same base. But this base come out at the cost of this. Quick disclaimer before we get into the actual build, this base is created for online raid defenses. My philosophy is the following: if my enemies want to offline raid me, it does not matter if my base is 20 or 40 rockets to raid. If they want to offline raid me, they will eventually succeed. But if I do happen to be online and someone is trying to raid me, I want the best possible chance to put up a great fight to both defend my loot and win the raid. On paper this base is around 20-ish rockets to main loot, but on the other hand, every time I've been raided in this base, they start raiding at the bottom of the base first, where the main TC is, and this makes the raid a lot easier to defend and a lot more expensive for the group raiding. That is all I wanted to say. Let's get into the build. Okay, so let's get into the starter. It's going to be a 2x1. I usually just build it like this. And then we put a door on and seal the top. Although you have to make sure you leave this wood so that you can soft side it later and place a ladder edge. Unless you for some reason already have a ladder edge. What I do here is to build all this out of twig and then place a triangle outside, just like this. This is so that we can place the jump up for the TC. Just like that. And then you can remove it. And now you basically have your starter. It is quite small and you will most likely have to move out of this, or not move out but expand pretty soon, because it's quite hard to fit 2 to 3 people inside there, and even as a solo it can get pretty cramped up. What you want to do now is build out with triangles, just like this, so you have sort of like a diamond. Not really a diamond, I'm no gem specialist, but then you want to build out like this and just follow the base around, just like this. Once you made it all the way around, the base should be looking something like this. As soon as you get yourself a ladder edge, you can simply replace this and then place down the ladder edge. It is important that you do this before you do the inner peaks, because otherwise this will interfere with you placing the frame. So just make sure you do that before you put down the inner peaks that will be covering the ladder edge. What you do now is that we start working on the inner peaks. So we do this and a half wall on top. And then we just fill up with walls all the way around until we get over to the other side. Just like that, same thing here. Now we have somewhat of a shell, and now what you can do is to start filling in the inner peaks, just like this. Once you've gone into this stage, you can start building up like this. Because you can see, there's a gap here in the inner peaks, which we want to fill in now. Just like that. Same thing on the other side. From the top, it should be looking something like this. And to seal off the inner peaks, this is what we want to do. And we can actually start from the bottom by adding an airlock and a window. And then you want to do this. You want to do a frame here. This is somewhat confusing, so bear with me. I'll try to make it as clear as possible. So you want to place a frame here. Then you want to place a low wall on top. Make sure it's rotated so you can't soft side in. And then you want to place these here and here. So it's going to be 1.5 up to this one, and then 1 to that one. Then you just want to seal it in just like this. Yeah. And then you can do the same thing on the other side. And then just seal off the rest. Now we want to seal the roof. We're actually going to add a ladder hatch here. So it's going to be the left side of these two. And then same side on this side. They're going to be opposites. And then just seal the entire roof. Something like that. Now we're almost done with the sort of starter base, I guess you can call it. A starter expansion, something like that. When you get up here, you want to add an airlock, just like this. Make sure it's a soft side here, I guess you can call it, because we're gonna have an open core or something like that up here on top. Same thing on this side. And here, we're gonna start working on the shooting floor. And this we can just seal off for the moment, just like this. Whenever you have metal for it, just place down some doors here. Same thing everywhere. But I'm not going to go into too much to the details regarding all the deployables, as it's somewhat obvious and I don't want to waste either your time or mine. Once you've done that, you can just follow the pattern underneath. So you can see here, we're gonna have a triangle, square, triangle. And then here, triangle, square, square, triangle. Same thing here, just all the way around. And now you should be at this stage, and this is sort of what I like to call the starter stage. You have yourself a pretty decent and somewhat defendable base. You have the inner peaks, and you have a decent base, I'd say. It is quite expensive to place down ladder hatches everywhere, as you're going to need quite a lot of garage doors for this base. So what I recommend you doing is maybe adding a ladder hatch here, and then we keep a ladder here for the moment. By doing that, you can still use this peak over here to defend your inner peaks. Whenever you have the mats for it, make sure you section off the peaks like this to give extra stability and extra ray defense possibilities. But now when we've gone to this stage, you actually want to start working on the wide gaps. And there's actually two different wide gaps. As you can see, the base isn't 100% symmetrical. It's sort of like symmetrical on that side to that side and that side to that side. And that is why we're going to be using two different wide gaps. Gonna start with this one. You want to start where the door is, do 2 out, and then like that. Just, I don't feel like saying every square and so on, every triangle. Just do what I'm doing. And then you should be left with a tiny gap here, and that's going to create your wide gap. Then you want to do the same thing on the other side. On this side it's a little bit trickier, but bear with me. And then 2 squares out. And then you basically just build your way by. Okay, and then the same thing on the other side. And now you can just build your way up. You also want to add frames on these sides to create extra stability. So just continue building all the way around. Now you should be left with something like this, and then it's just to fill in these gaps here. Make sure they're connected to the wide gap and not the actual base. Now when we get the wide gaps done, we can actually start working on the inner core here. We're actually going to seal the entire thing off, but first you want to add a frame next to the jump up, and another frame to the other jump up, and then you can just seal the entire thing. Okay, and in here we're going to have 2 loot rooms that you can have like this. You can obviously design this however you want, but this is how I like to do it. We have 2 loot rooms like that, and you just fill up with a bunch of frames, so you make the door raid a little bit more expensive, and here you can basically place whatever you want. You can do a locker, battery, whatever, it's totally up to you. Now you want to start working on the multi-TCs, because this is going to decay otherwise, since they're not connected to a TC at the moment. So what you want to do is that you want to build out. You can do this however you want, but this is how I like to do it. So on this side you want to do 2 out, then you want to do the 3rd one and add these 2 in there. And here you do 2 more and 1 of these. And here it's totally up to you how you want to do it. I usually do it like this. Then you add TC there. Boom. And here we have my cheeky little gatehouse. And then you obviously want to do the same thing on the other side. On this other side, I like to do it a little bit different. I only do 1 out, another one, and then we do the gatehouse right away. Just like that. And as always, the same thing on the other side. Okay, and now we can just finish off the shooting floor. Here you will have to add these, and then a door like this, so that you won't fall out. And here you can actually fall out as well, so you will have to add these frames here. And then the same thing on the opposite side. And then in every one of these corners you want to add this one, the stairs L shape. Rotate it to the right like this. And then you have roof access. Just do the same thing on every side. And once you place these on every side, you can actually start to seal off the entire roof, but you want to leave these pieces open. It's quite important that you do this correct, so these are going to be placed on the multi-TC, but these are going to be placed towards the main TC, so you're gonna leave a gap here. Besides that, there's nothing special. Once you've sealed the roof, we can start working on the actual roof and all of the peaks that you can get from it. So what we're going to do here is that we're going to add these to the sides, and make sure you're standing on this side where it's like a hexagon. Then you want to add half walls, a low wall, and a roof on top. Same thing on this side. Okay, and then you have a double door here, a double door there. And then you want to add a single door, one wall, 2 windows, and then just seal it off. And make sure you place it to the main TC, just like it is, underneath. And you can place some more frames, and do the exact same thing on the other side. Once you've got the roof ready to go, it's basically only the roof pieces to place now, and a half wall here. So start doing that, and the base is done and you ready to take control over the server, I guess. These can be a little bit tricky to place, but make sure you get the right spot and there should be no problem. Okay, there you have it. Base is done, and if you want to add windmills, I recommend you doing it here. Gets you 2 windmills, decent amount of electricity generated. But yeah, that's it. That's my new base design, if you want to call it new. But yeah, it is the 2x1 Shad Castle. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be dropping a movie in about 2 months. What am I even saying? I meant 2 weeks, okay? I'll be dropping a new movie in 2 weeks, and I will see you then. That was it for today's video. Don't really have anything more to say. Just want you to take care. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in 2 weeks.